each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Happy Friday. It must be Friday. It's Friday, it's Friday, it's Friday. Hopefully pretty soon here I'll have like little buttons I can press and I'll make sounds and stuff. I've actually got some here, I think, today. What else did they give us? Good morning, Amber. It's good to see you. You better better be the first to say something if you want to be the number one fan today. Music. See, I have music. That's about it. Should do some rain while we're listening. There you go. There's good. I'm talking. Gosh, that sounds just like rain. Okay. Oh, isn't that just nice? How about some nature sounds for this early morning? I didn't even notice the difference because there's birds outside too. Let's do some minimal house and then we'll end this. But this is kind of fun. This is minimal house. It sounds a lot like birds. All right, let's get this party started. We gotta do hip hop. We gotta do it. It's gotta be done. It's gotta be done. You ready? God, that sounded just like Minimal House. Oh, that's good. Man, that is some of the crappiest hip hop I've ever heard. All right, let's get started. Now that I've played around with your ear holes a little bit this morning, I wonder if I don't really necessarily do some voice exercises before I get started, but what I do is I sing. I put on songs and I sing, and it helps me find my range and stuff before I go live and stuff. I wonder if other people, I know actors and stuff do that, but I have to get my voice adjusted, get it cleared out. Otherwise, I'll come on here and I will sound like Barry White. I will. Now I need to wrap the whole lot. You know, if I was quick enough, I would do that, Amber. I actually would. Because I'm pretty quick at coming up with stuff in my head, but I'm just not a very good rapper. I'd have to get a rhythm down. I'd probably have to follow someone else. If I could do that, I could probably do it. So, because lines pop into my head pretty quick about stuff, especially if it's on a topic or something that I know. And with my dyslexia, I'm good at rhyming. I'm good at rhyming shit. Let's get started. We're going to be in the 12 by 12 page 92 for anybody that would like to follow along. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Yeah. Soon everybody will know the name. I'm just kidding. I'm going to take over the world. You know what song I practiced this morning? Or the ones that I was listening. Let's see. I just got done. Let's see. I just got done listening to Tesla Rock Me. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Before that, I believe it was Big Balls by AC/DC. Before that, it was Love You by Tesla. What was the other one? Ballroom Blitz I did this morning. And what was the first one? What was the first one? What did it start out with? Oh, Dr. Hook. Dr. Hook. So, yeah, cover of the Rolling Stones. Now, all these have different fluctuations and different sounds in them. right? Like rock meat is really, really high. Okay. So does it like big balls is very low. So see now you da. All right. We got it. That's why I can do things like this. That's why I can talk really high. Now my cat's going meow, 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 meow. I can even do a kitten meow. Watch this. It takes a toll on my throat though. All right, let's get started. Page 92. Now that we're in AA and sober and winning back the esteem of our friends and business associates, we find that we still need to exercise special vigilance. Okay, now don't take this. Sometimes some things I don't like this, like, hey, you're doing really good. Now we're going to slap you around a little bit. Right? Hey, you're doing really good. Better watch it. All right. Clearly, not everybody thinks I'm as funny as I think I am today. We find we still need to exercise special vigilance. As an insurance against big shotism, we can often check ourselves by remembering that we are today sober only by the grace of God, that any success we may be having is far more his success than ours. Now, let's not depreciate what we are either. All right. Now, what is the grace? What is grace? Grace is an unearned gift. That's what that is. See, why is it an unearned gift? Or was it really fair? Because see, I'm gonna cover shit. All right. Is it really fair that God made me an alcoholic and then put requirements around it? Is that what happened? See, that would be an assumption on my part, wouldn't it? I kind of feel like I probably had the choice before I got here. Clearly, I don't remember it. Maybe I'll remember it once I would go back to being a spirit. But I'm not going. I'm not going back to heaven right away. I'm gonna haunt most of your asses first before I take off. All right. If I have the option, yeah, I'm gonna haunt a bunch of people. I'm gonna come and move your shit. I'm gonna fuck with your stuff. I'm gonna turn on your TV in the middle of the night. I'm not kidding. All right. All right. But yeah, you got to be careful. See, yesterday we talked about an alcoholic without accountability is going to do the wrong thing. It's just, it's how it is. I don't know why. I don't know how. Well, I do kind of know how. By the way, it's 11:11. All right. So, yeah. Finally, we begin to see that all people, including ourselves, are to some extent emotionally will as well as frequently wrong. All of us. It's the number one way we learn, by being wrong. Right? Not every move needs to have severe consequences to it in order for us to learn anymore, huh? Isn't that nice? Isn't it nice that, because we alcoholics, we really search for the hardest way to fucking learn something. We do. So when we get into the program and we start hearing other people that have gone through what we've gone through, we can start to avoid some of these pitfalls. It's one of the main reasons I do what I do, so you can avoid the pitfalls that I went through. I don't want you to go through them. I made a big fucking mistake of going back out because all of a sudden I thought I was okay, that I could continue maintaining it. I'd done it for years. Why wouldn't I be able to do it now? And then something trivial came along. I couldn't handle it, and I was back to drinking. Okay. But my emotional sobriety had gone out the fucking window years before that drink happened. I was angry all the fucking time. And because I was angry all the time, because I was not working on my emotional sobriety, I went back to the alcohol because I didn't know what else to do. My brain's like, yay, we finally got what we want, right? But the success that I'm having is far more my higher powers than mine. Now, that doesn't depreciate my actions. That doesn't mean that what I'm not doing isn't important. It doesn't mean that you doing what you are doing is not important. The point is, there's no point in taking credit for anything. Why do I need the credit? Why? Why would I want the credit? So that you would tell me good job. So that you would give me your attention. That's why I would want credit. I go through it. I, there's a part of me that sometimes like, God, I do all this stuff. Where's my fucking award? Where's my television spot of how great Dion is? Right? Right? Sounds good in the think until it comes out of the mouth. Right? Sounds good in the thinking. So then we find out that to some extent, everybody in this world is somehow emotionally ill to different extents. Right? Now that doesn't mean I get to judge them, but what it is a recognition. I now recognize that other people are going through it too. And what does this allow me? It allows me tolerance, patience, kindliness, and love. That's what it gives me. Now I can be like, oh, well, fuck, they're sick like me. Well, hell, then we might as well be sick together and have fun, right? Fuck it. As well as frequently wrong. In fact, that's all social media is anymore. How everybody is wrong. Oh, it's wrong, 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 wrong. It's just one big fighting match, right? And then we approach true tolerance and see what real love for our fellows actually means. Right? Real love for my fellows is this: allowing you to be who you are. I was listening to this or watching this video earlier, and this guy is saying, you know why LA Sober is that he was talking about how LA Sober is not a part of AA. And he says, what do we do at LA Sober? Well, we still want to get high. That's the first thing out of his mouth. But nobody, and I said, nobody, AA doesn't align with anybody. It's not just you. And AA doesn't, we are about alcohol, not drugs. Stop using AA to promote your own stuff. Well, that's not what I'm doing. But, oh, okay. Did you smoke crack before that? You made that comment. That's not what I'm doing. Just utter denial. All right. Don't pick on AA in front of me. Don't you dare use AA. Don't you dare. Or I'm going to say something. Oh, it sounds like Dion's problem. Right? It will become more and more evident as we go forward that it's pointless to become angry. I'm going through a lot of this right now. I'm going through that. Or to get hurt by people when, like us, are suffering from the pains of growing up. I mean, I'm back to deliberately working on my anger. It's time to bring that down a little bit more. Am I doing it for everybody else in my life? No, I'm doing it for me. I just don't want to be angry. So that means I got to stop putting myself in positions to be angry. Life's still going to happen. I was talking to somebody yesterday, not seeing him in his meeting much. What are we going to do? All right. Such a radical change in our outlook will take time, maybe a lot of time. I mean, Well, Dion, with everything you do, and gosh, you got so much time, so we think you'd be over your anger problem. I don't know that I'm ever going to be over my anger problem, and my anger is not a problem. Thank you. Quit. Don't don't designate somebody else's emotions. Don't designate your own. Okay, you can call them what they are, but then making that a part of you can be very dangerous. Be very dangerous. Not many people can truthfully assert that they love everybody. I can. I love everybody. It's just something I give. But there's something, you know, it's easier for me to love you than it is to like you. Liking is something entirely different to me because this is what my love requires, that you are a child of God. That's all it requires, my love. Okay. If you want my loyalty, if you want my respect, if you want something else, then we're going to need to do some work. I don't, I trust very few people off the bat. Been a long time since I trusted somebody right off the bat. And I don't want other people to trust me automatically either. Right. I was talking with somebody the other day, and we're going to be doing some podcasting together. Well, it's always a good idea to talk first. Let me grab something real quick. Right, and we sat down for an hour, and the hour went like that. Bam, it went right on by, which means I was engaged in the conversation. I didn't even feel like I had to get up and leave the chair. That means I was engaged in the conversation. That's a good start, right? So our first conversation was good. You know, we're like, yeah, okay, we're willing to both try one. But I told her before we really get into anything else, we we've got to get to know each other a little bit better because there might be parts of me that you don't really, you know. So let's make sure that it's okay first. Because if you just jump in it, you know, these things take time, right? When I see somebody new with a podcast that just pops out of nowhere and all of a sudden they're big, it was money that bought that. And money might be able to buy you followers, but they ain't gonna buy you friends. Yep. So not many people can truthfully assert that they love everybody. Most of us must admit that we have loved but a few, that we have been quite indifferent to the many so long as none of them gave us trouble, and as for the remainder, well, we really disliked or hated them. I don't like to get into any of this anymore. I don't even do the either you're in my life or you're not. That's kind of how it is, you know. But I really love this line right here. That we have been quite indifferent to the many so long as none of them gave us trouble. Listen to these requirements. Listen to these demands. Cause trouble in my life. Well, yeah, you're out. Right? The whole cancel culture that God started. And I do understand abuse from family. I get it. Okay. But there's a big difference between cancel culture and boundaries. Okay. Don't start, you know, there are reasons for a mother or father not to be in your life. But just canceling them out and not learning anything can be a detriment to you. All right. You know, my own biological father cancer cultured me. The man that raised me did it to me. See, I didn't even have to do it. All right. So be careful on kicking some of those people out of your life. I'm not saying that there aren't reasons, because there is. But aren't we really here to try and do good no matter who the person is? Yeah. Even if that person is related to us or maybe an in-law or something, we're still going to try the best that we can because they are still a child of God. And that may not be very much in the beginning. And that is okay too. It's all right to start small. It says it is going to take a long time, a lot of time to change these things. I was a certain person for a while. I'm not going to just turn on a dime here. It's not. That's not how it works. Wish it did. It would have been a lot easier. Yeah, I wish it would have been a lot easier. Absolutely, I did, but it wasn't. Although these attitudes are common enough, we AAs find we need something much better in order to keep our balance. We can't stand it if we hate deeply. It drives us nuts. And the thing is, we get upset. I got mad that I was mad. Yeah. When you live a life where you're running around looking at the negative part of life, what you are is angry. And that's what I did for when I drink. That's what I do. When I'm in the program, I'm not like that. When I'm working the program, when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I don't hate deeply. I'm able to, yeah. Oh, Amber, I didn't even see that one of the nature sounds till now. It's too late to say it now. Nobody will get it. The idea that we can be possessively loving of a few, can ignore the many, and continue to fear or hate anybody has to be abandoned, if only a little at a time. I'm going to tell you now, it's been a very little at a time for me. It was one of the only things I really had left of Dion was the anger. And I've had to let it go a little bit at a time. That's what's worked for me. Okay? I probably, but don't make the mistake that I made of going back out for the next 10, 15 years of hell. And then a lot of this will take less time for you. See, the further you go down, the longer it's going to take to get out. But the further I go down, the more experience I have, but not necessarily good experience. That would be a don't do it this way experience. And those aren't the best examples. They can still be used, but what I'm saying is that is not a challenge. We can try to stop making unreasonable demands upon those we love or upon anybody. All right. We can show kindness where we had shown none. With those we dislike, we begin to practice justice and courtesy, perhaps going out of our way to understand them. Maybe reach out. Look for the good things in people, man. There's a little bad in all of us and a lot of good in each one of us. There's good and bad in all of us, man. All right. Ever says Denver Botanic Garden, here we come. Let's get Isaac's birthday week started. Got him a shark bite. Kids drink at Ziggy's while we waited for my oil change too. I wish I had enough money for an oil change. Oh, a chunk of money should come in at any point. Doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen, honestly. And I'm going to tell you, I'm angry about it. It's stopping me from getting some things done. All right. My car needs, it needs the plates immediately. It's insured and registered. It's legal mostly, except for the plates. Needs an oil change. And my AC needs to be refilled. There's no AC in my car. And it's very hot nowadays. But the people that owe us money, well, gosh, their air conditioning works just fine in their car. See, that's where I start to get upset. When there is not equality in something, when there is abuse, that's when I start to get very upset. Especially when it affects my wife. You want to see my anger? Fuck with my wife in front of me. That's not a challenge. But I tell you now, if you take it as a challenge and do it, it's going to be twice as worse. Yeah, I'm willing to go to jail for my wife. I am. I have no problem with that. All right. I know how dangerous I am. See? My anger isn't. Got to work on these things, right? Because the question isn't whether or not Dion is okay with him being in jail. It's whether my wife's okay with it. See? I got to think a little bit further. Although these attitudes are common enough, we find AA, we need something much better in order to keep our balance. I need that extra stuff. Go find something to do, Sawyer. Go. Seriously. You've been meowing in my ear for 10 fucking minutes. That's not anger, that's frustration. And he's still sitting there. Whenever we fail any of these people, we can probably admit to ourselves always and also to them when the admission would be helpful. Okay, let's do it right now. Sawyer, I'm sorry I yelled at you. I know you're just lonely and grumpy. There we go. See? That's how you do it. Now go find something to do. Yes, I just made an amends to my cat. Who cares, man? Who cares? Humility, my friends. Like the other day, I was walking along. I accidentally stepped on one of my cat's tails. It was Jack, the orange cat. And he's an emotional, sensitive kitty. So I had to pick him up and let him know it was an accident and stuff like that. So, yeah. All right. Courtesy, kindness, justice, and love are the keynotes by which we come into harmony with practically anybody. When in doubt, we can always pause saying, not my will, but thine be done, and can often ask ourselves, am I doing to others as I would have them do to me today? All right. That's going to be it for this one. Amber, I hope you have a great time at Botanical Gardens. Have fun. Hope Isaac has a great birthday. I love y'all. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.